Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my Real Talk show. Today's guest is, as you can see in the description, and for so many of you that are already here, I'm so happy to see you all, is Angel Muniz. And I'm very happy to have him on my show. And he's already, I see you there behind the scenes, Angel, waiting. And I just want to make sure first to welcome those of you who are here and make sure that my audio is good. Can you hear me? Can you go ahead and give me a sign in the chat and let me know if you can hear me? We had Studio Geek. I don't know if Sammy's still here. Miss Hopkins, Lorelei Johnson, Hot Mess Missy, Art in RVing, Ariel Williams. Thank you so much for coming. I have to pop my glasses on and off because I can't read. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm going to go ahead and bring Angel up. Hello, Angel.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hopefully you've been doing great yourself for the past couple of weeks since the last Real Talk stream that you did with Angel Dominique, aka my twin.
Yeah, it has been a while. I've been doing pretty good. How about you?
There's so much in my life that I'm going to be discussing here on the stream because today's topic is going to be ways how you can have a successful life and prevent yourself from the failing. Because I just want to give everyone my words of wisdom of how you can have a successful life and how you can drive yourself into going in the direction that you want and making sure that you don't step in the wrong direction and have yourself fail because I've been through so much in my life that I just want people to try to see from their perspective how they can go the same way that they run in the direction that I took myself.
Well, I think that a lot of people can learn and be inspired by your story, Angel. I can't wait to hear some of the things that you want to talk about. Before we do that, can we make sure they do hear us before we get...
Some of the people have already said audio is perfect. Ms. Hopkins says we can hear you, and Lori Johnson press the 1.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Angel, I did come up with a few questions on my own to start the interview off. And are you okay with me just throwing a few questions out at you on the whim?
Sure. And if you have any questions in the midst of my talking and my advice, you're more than welcome to ask them.
Oh, good. Well, first of all, just so my own followers that are here and don't know about you, I do want you to, tell a little bit about yourself. How long have you been on YouTube?
I've been on YouTube for the course of the past 4 years because I started this channel back February 27, 2016, but I did not officially start uploading content until March of 2018. So it was a bit of a 2-year abandonment without me doing anything. But ever since then, I've been uploading stuff, putting videos out there, getting things together. And a little bit about me is that I'm a 29-year-old diagnosed with autism, ADHD, bipolar, mood, and seizure disorders. And some people don't really see through that. But in the end, I don't really care because it's just something that I don't really focus on. I just want to focus on myself and focus on what I can do to drive myself in the direction that I want to go towards in my life. And I'll be discussing more about that as the interview goes along.
You're 29, huh? You're going to hit the big 30. When's your birthday?
March 29th, and I'm going to be going to Dave & Buster's.
Very good. My birthday's the 19th. We're
Wow,
very close.
10 days apart, but several years probably.
Oh, yes. Shh. Angel, one of the favorite things about you since I've met you is your laugh.
My laugh is everyone's favorite thing about me because they find my laugh so infectious and so contagious. But luckily, it's nothing contagious like the coronavirus that is going around right now.
Oh, yeah.
My laugh is contagious, but in a more good, better way.
I love your analogies too. I think we look good today. We're like sporting some kind of sports teams?
Well, actually, it's a made in the 90s sweatshirt.
Oh, very good. Mine's just the boring navy blue, but yeah, we both got our hoodies on. Last time, you've been on my Real Talk before. We did a topic on bullying.
Yep. But it was at the time when I was going through bullying and disrespect at the time. But ever since then, my life has been going in a completely new direction of what I've been wanting to. And that's why I'm going to be discussing more on the stream about how people can succeed in their life and go in the direction that they want. And so it's just that since then, a lot has happened. And it's just been a great ride so far, and the ride will continue. And it's just been one after another.
Taking a load off, huh? Now, I know a lot has happened. You just recently moved all the way across the states, right? From where to where?
From Minnesota to Arizona.
Mm-hmm. And how is that being now that you're being settled in?
I love it here, and it's been a great experience. Living in a state that I was born in, but never got to grow up in as a child.
Yeah. Do you ever think that that's going to happen for you, Angel?
Do I think it's ever going to happen? That's hard to answer because you kind of don't give me real precise of what is going to happen. That's the thing.
Well, what are your goals right now? What's the small term goals for you?
The small term goals is pretty much to just continue doing stuff on YouTube, and one of my small term goals is to hit 2,500 subscribers. And in terms of my own life, one of my small term goals is to try to be more active in the surrounding area of downtown Phoenix and try to find more activities to do, because I've been doing a lot more outdoor activities lately ever since October. And I've been going bike riding a whole lot more often. I've been seeing my family more often. And I've also been getting more active in the surrounding area around me. But I want to try to see what is out there that I can do, that I can be a part of. And the other small-term goals is to try to see about doing more traveling, because my sister may be planning on taking a trip to a theme park this summer. And if she does, I'm going to be going with her, but I just need to save up the money. And another smaller term goal is to try to get more hours in at my job, because right now I've started a new job and I'm working part-time, but it's only a couple shifts a week. That's only an average of 5 to 6 hours.
Well, what's your job? What are you doing?
I work as a cashier at the local arena here in downtown Phoenix.
Something cut out right when you started. I heard an arena, but what are you doing there?
I work as a cashier at a concession stand.
Gotcha. That's good. You get to meet a whole lot of slew of different types of personalities, I bet.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, you said you've been riding your bike lately, and I know you had a bike accident right before you moved.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit. Tell me about that and how the recovery was. And can you tell me a little bit about the experience of that?
And whenever you're ready for me to give my advice, I can do that. But I'm just telling a bit more about myself and what I've been going through. But back on July 20th of 2019 last year, 1 week prior to when I was supposed to take the Greyhound bus to go move down here to Phoenix, I was riding my bike on a local street down in the city of Minnesota that I was living in. And no, it's not the Twin Cities. It's a small city called Moorhead, Minnesota, that has a population of less than 45,000 people.
Okay.
And to some, it may be wow, that's not. Well, if you really consider it, it's pretty small compared to the average cities, like how there's 1.6 million here in Phoenix, which is the 5th largest city in America now. But when I was riding my bike back on July 20th to go to my local Walmart to go get some tape because I had some more packing to do, just picture this in your head. A pedestrian has a right-of-way, correct? So when I got to the edge of the street, because when you cross the street as a pedestrian, you're crossing from one side to another if you're not going across the street in the other direction, because if you are, you would have to use the crosswalk. But when I was crossing the street, when I was just on one side and riding my bike, a car was coming, but he did not stop at the stop sign because I got to the end of the sidewalk way before he even got in front of the stop sign. So imagine it kind of like this: you as a pedestrian get to the edge of the sidewalk near your local near your local stores, and then when you get to it, you see that you think that, oh, it's no big deal, and the car
Oh,
out, and
I'm sorry,
he
Angel.
just hit me.
I'm trying to make you bigger, but I don't know how.
You would have to click on the solo one.
And then click you.
Kind of like that.
It's only putting me on there. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop right in the middle of where you got hit. Like, come on, Miss Kathy.
That's all right. I'm just trying to give people a more image idea of how it all happened, because I got to the end of the sidewalk before the car had even approached the stop sign, because the car was like 10 to 20 feet away from the stop sign, and I thought I would have had the right of way, but he did not stop at all. He just kept on going and turned the right and just hit it straight into me. And that day definitely put me off track, because I had to go to a hospital and
That was the day or the week you were getting ready to move too, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you had posted that you were in the hospital, and you were in there for quite a few days, right?
No, not necessarily the one in Minnesota, because the hospital in Minnesota, I was there for about 6 to 8 hours, because the incident happened early in the day at around 11:30 a.m. And with every single rescue crew, like the police, the ambulance, and such, and there were a lot of witnesses that came to my rescue that had helped me to get off of the road onto the grass, to keep me off of the street from injuring myself even more, which I thank the people for being there to help me out. And one person even had offered to drive me to the hospital, and I took her on her offer of driving me. And basically, when I had got done, basically all they gave me was a few crutches that they were asked me to use, and then after that, I just had to just get back home in every way I can. And so when I got to the hospital, went back to my, and then after that, pretty much I couldn't do very much, and I basically tried all that I can to get my moving done.
Wow. Now, I thought you were in the hospital for several days. Was this after you had gotten to Arizona? You went back into the hospital?
It was when I got back to when I got here to Arizona, because after I had got out of the hospital, I came to Arizona on July 29th, because I took the bus on July 27th, 1 week after the hit and run. And so after I got here to Arizona, I was in the hospital for a couple of days, because the day that I came, my family had brought me in to get a follow up, and then I had was brought into the hospital again the following day to see what else that they could do, and then on August the 5th, that's when I had my surgery.
Yeah. And how is your recovery now?
My recovery has been the 100% healed up, and pretty much the last time that I was at the hospital was back in mid of December.
Remind me what it was, your leg or your ankle or what, knee?
It was my right leg ankle that was fractured.
Yeah. Were you on a wheel cart or just crutches or?
Believe it or not, I did not even take any the crutches with me, because the crutches that the doctors had gave to me back in when I was in Minnesota, where the hit and run had happened, I did not want to use them, because they were such a struggle to try to use, where you had to go like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it I think it takes a talent to walk with crutches, honestly. I'm not very good at it myself.
So the only thing that I had used that I had helped my had that my brother had bought me was a scooter.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
basically
So,
the scooter that got me was the one where you can pedal with one good foot and have your bad one be kneeled in a position to give it some supported ability.
right, right. Yeah, that's what I figured you had a wheeled cart. So, how long did that put you out?
It put me out for a good almost 2 months because
Yeah,
right after the surgery had happened, I was like limited to what I can and cannot do.
yeah, most certainly. That's a struggle.
Yeah.
Right before you get to Arizona, too.
Yep.
Yeah. So you took a little bit of a break on YouTube during that time as well, right?
Yeah, because basically I had got to Arizona, but I took a break, a bit of a break in August, but also pretty part of September. It's because everything that I had to finish up in July for my move, and I did not expect for that hit and run incident to happen. That had what put me a bit back in terms of doing stuff on my YouTube channel as well because of that. And I had to take August off because that was the first full month of me living in Arizona, and including my new apartment. And September
August in
was slowly
Arizona,
getting
too.
better.
That's really hot, too.
Yeah, and it's also the season of the monsoon.
Yeah. So you had a lot of storms, huh?
Yep.
Can't get out and walk around in storms when you're on a wheeled cart.
Not really.
So what's up now? You're all healed. You're doing good. What's the plan for your YouTube journey?
My YouTube journey is just going to keep on putting out more content and videos, but with my new job, it's kind of going to be putting a bit of a, I wouldn't say a burden, but more so of a step back for my channel because some people kind of don't understand that some people have other parts of their life. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle for me to manage my YouTube channel at the same time with the job that I have, in addition to being there with my family, because
I can certainly
there's just
understand that.
so much that but is it going to stop me from doing YouTube? No, it's just the fact. Like when I got the, hey, I'm doing this 100%, but you don't realize that it may soon be down 25 to 25% because of other stuff. So I've had to be a bit of a reduced the numbers of live streams and video uploads that I do on my channel because of the new job and because of the new life that I have here in Arizona. But it doesn't mean that it will stop me from doing YouTube.
Well, those of you who are here for you and support you and you know, we're here when you're here. I think that a
Yeah.
lot of the people in the chat would agree with me. I think I had a few more
Yep.
people walk in. Let's say hello. I have Mario from Main 3 Cross.
Just so everyone knows, the dude by the name of Fright Supremacy, he is a great friend of mine. Don't worry about him. He's no troll. He's a local friend of mine, and I love him to God. He has been an awesome person, and he knew the struggles when I went through because I was on one of his streams back
Okay.
in August, I believe, when I went through the whole issue of the hit and run. And if you guys remember, there was a news clip that made my local news that I uploaded to my channel that gained so many views.
Well, I haven't even gotten to him, so I think that's great that you've got a good buddy in the chat here. Where did I leave off here?
I
We've
just want
got,
to let everyone know.
let me say hello to everybody. Angel. Bottle Caps. Bottle Caps is here. Thank you for coming. T-Tac, Enlightened Cafe, and Main 3 Croft Mario, and Donna Shaw is here. And Fright Supremacy. Okay, I'm getting to that one. He's your buddy here. Thank you for coming and supporting Angel. It's good to have all of you here. If any of you do have questions for Angel, you can type them in the chat and I'll see if I can click it and add it to the banner on the screen here so we don't miss it. Angel, you want to answer some of the questions I have for you?
Sure.
Okay. If you could be any character, what would it be?
If I could be any character, what would it be? Well, if I could be any character in the world, it would be the kind of character that can turn back time. I know the time travel has been one thing many scientists have been trying to struggle, but there will never be anything such as time traveling. But I've seen many cartoons, I've seen many characters where they can time travel with the slick of a finger or simply with their powers. And if I could be any character, it would be a character that can turn back time. But if that doesn't happen, the character that I could use is to give the people the kind of dream that they want without being so selfish. Because we all have dreams, we all have goals, but sometimes we wish that the goal was right there and then. But if I could give the people the dream is to be a game show host, snap. If your dream is to be a successful YouTuber, snap. If your dream is to be
you would grant everyone's wishes. Is that what you're saying? You would grant everyone their wish?
As long as it's something not selfish or something going to be a negative thing.
I was going to say, that could be a very big responsibility to have. You know, you said you would travel back in time. If you could go back in time, what would you change anything if you went back in time? Did you freeze on me?
If I could go back in time, I would go back to the time when I was a kid. Because as a kid, there was so much that I had like happened to me, and it's just that if I could like go back, I would go back to the time where I wish my dad was a bit more respectful towards me, because I don't speak to my father at all anymore, and there's just been a father and son relationship that has been between me and my other brother, who I've streamed last week. If you guys saw that stream,
I didn't. You streamed with your brother?
Last week I did a stream where my brother was performing at a local bar.
Oh, I missed that. I'll have to make sure I check that out. Now, yeah. When you're stream, then unfortunately I have to watch a lot of your replays, because when you stream, I'm usually sleeping. You're a night owl.
Well, it's just that we live in different time zones. That's the thing.
Well, and that's true, but I also am an early bed goer. I definitely, there's so many people that are streaming at night. I watch them while I have my coffee the next day. But I missed out on a lot of fun. We've got the good ones here. Hello, God the Good One. How are you? And Donna Shaw says, I have a doctor's appointment, so I can't stay long, but I will watch back. Everyone have a great day. Well, thank you, Donna, for popping in. I'm sure Angel appreciates it as well.
Yeah, because like I said, if I could go back time, it would go back to the time that I wish my dad was a bit more respectful, because when I was 13, it felt like he just wanted to get rid of me, because that's what had prompted him to get the whole social service stuff for me. Because he got me a social worker, he got me a person, and he just didn't really seem that much of a father figure to me. Because if he was, he wouldn't go that route. He would try to take care of his kid the best that he could, and just make sure that if a kid wants his privacy, to give it to him. If the kid doesn't want to be bothered, don't knock on the door. And so it's just that I want to go back to having a father and son relationship with him, but with everything that me and him have been through over my years, including the event that happened back on February 15th when I got back to Minnesota last year after visiting my family, it's just that I don't know. It's kind of like I still want to be there, want him to still be there for me, but
well, I do hope that happens. I do hope that you're able to patch that up. I don't know the situation between you and your father when you were 13.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in depth of it, but I just want my dad to just think about his kids more. and just don't be there to hover over them. And I'll be discussing more about hovering when I get to my advice.
Bring it on. I'm ready to listen. What's your advice, Angel?
You have been asking me question after question, and but there will be probably more questions that as the stream goes along. So one of the questions that you probably might ask, and I'll be answering. Well, my advice is the ways that you can have a successful life and prevent yourself from failing is one, to have yourself a successful life. You need motivation, not from others. Motivate yourself, because we all don't motivate ourselves into doing the things that we want in our life, and we all like prevent ourselves from like doing the stuff that we want. And the way you can motivate yourself is thinking to yourself, what can I do to make my life better? And one of the ways is to look yourself in the mirror, because if it's like nothing that you are liking right now, motivate yourself to bring yourself in a new direction. And one of the ways to prevent yourself from failing is never give up. Keep following the dusty trail, because a lot of people give up when they haven't even tried their hardest. And another way is don't have people tell how you should do things, because people in our life often try to manipulate us into not doing what we want and try to prevent us from going where we want in our life. And sometimes we just don't really think to ourselves, is that really what is best for me? And sometimes the people in our life don't really know what's best for you. They just know what's best for them. And so basically you need to like not have others try to hold over you and say that you should do this or do that when you grow up. If you want to be a doctor, let it be your choice, not the people around you, because some parents try to have their child become a doctor as early as 5 years old, when that child doesn't even know what he or she wants to be when they grow up.
Yeah, that's true. And I know for you, Angel, that's difficult because you're in a situation where you have a caregiver. So it's something that I know that you and I have talked about, that you stress that you want to be able to make up your own mind. So I know that's something
it's just that I'm my own person now, but it's just there's a lot of things that I have been through over the course of the year, ever since I gained my own independence. But it's just that at the time I didn't really know what to do.
When explain that again, when you became your own independent, what does that mean?
Back on January 2nd, 2019, I won my guardianship case, because I talked about that a few times, but it's just that you probably never got an update from the last time I was on your stream. Because my guardianship case went from May of 2018, and it ended on January 2nd of 2019. And when I won my case, it was the happiest thing that had ever happened to me, that I was able to choose what I want to do with my life, go in the direction that I want. But during that time, people still tried to prevent me from doing the stuff that I want in my life, and tried to like boggle my head with all their suggestions and all their influences. Even though they're just trying to help me, sometimes you don't realize what you really want until you figure out for yourself.
That's amazing. Now, do you see any kind of therapist or counselor to
Nope.
guide you in your choices or anything?
Nope. All of the choices is me.
And you're living alone?
Yep.
Wow. Now, what kind of guidance, do you get any kind of financial guidance or anything from the state or anything?
Nope. Nope.
Wow, congratulations.
I don't have any form of from the state or anything, because I used to be on Social Security, and I used to be on Section 8 housing, but I just did not want to be on that when I came to Arizona. So I'm not on any of that kind of stuff anymore. And believe it or not, when I was put on that, it wasn't even my choice. It was my people, like my social worker, my guardian/conservator, and pretty much every single person that was part of my social service or my working team, because I was a part of a in-home service provider called CCRI. But
Gotcha.
a lot of stuff that was given to me in my life wasn't my choosing. Because was it my choice to be put on Section 8 housing or Social Security? Initially, no, but the people in my team influenced to me to go with it, and I just caved to their demands and said, you know what, F it, I'll go with it. And but it's just people don't listen to what I have to say or what I have to tell them. They just don't care.
So this has been since January of 2019?
Yeah, but I was removed from Section 8 right in the month that I was getting ready to move, which was July of last year.
Okay, so almost 6 months now you've been here.
Yep.
Right? Well, it sounds like you're doing really well and you're happy and you're getting settled and working a job, and I'm really happy for you. Angel, there's a question I put up on the banner here from TTAT. If Angel was a Dorito, what flavor would he be?
If I was a Dorito, I would be nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese, and why is that?
Did you see the Dorito Super Bowl commercial?
I did not. Can you believe it? I babysat my 4-year-old grandson the night of the Super Bowl, and I watched the Lion King movie with him.
The live action one?
So nacho cheese, huh?
Yeah.
Explain to me why. What happened in the Super Bowl commercial? I didn't see it. Did I put you on the spot, Angel?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's just that the commercial went by so fast that I don't remember. Because I have to look it up to see it again.
God's a good one that wants to know how you find time to breathe. Because you're such a fast talker, I guess. Huh?
Well, believe it or not, I can speak for several minutes on end without taking a single breath.
I know. You're barely letting me get a word in edgewise, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Ms. Hopkins has a question. Who would Angel want to play in a movie about his life? Who would play? Which actor would play you in your movie?
Well,
Good question.
If I could choose which actor to play my life, if I were to write a novel and submit it to a movie producing company, it would be someone that would probably know what it's like to be a person with autism and the kind of disabilities that I have. So if I could, I would let the movie producing people do the casting, because I'm pretty sure there are many actors that probably have some form of disability inside of them, but we don't know exactly because they don't tell it, because it's hard to know if a person has a disability or not when they are just being a genuine normal person.
Well, that's true, but they would definitely have to spend some time with you and get to know your personality and your tendencies and your mannerisms, and obviously they would act it. But is there just any actor that you think you look like or could play you?
That's hard to tell because I don't think there are very many actors that look like this.
I bet you there are. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. What about you guys in the chat? Do you notice anyone that is famous that looks like Angel?
Yeah, but type the name in the chat. But while they're doing that of looking for my twin doppelganger, I'm gonna continue on with ways to have a successful life. And
real quick, let's say hello to Ralph Morick. Crimson Fantasy is here. The Pigeon Lady has popped in, and I don't think I missed anyone else. Thank you guys for being here. Angel's got lots to say, guys. I appreciate you being here listening. He's getting water. He's wetting his whistle. What do you got there, buddy? What is that? Jones. What is Jones?
Jones Soda. Ever heard of them?
I have not. Enlighten me.
Jones Soda is a soda cane sugar company that was introduced in 1996. I've heard of them, but I just never had any of their sodas until I went grocery shopping. Not this week, but last week. And now Jones Soda is the great soda, because it says here, since 1996, a small team of soda enthusiasts have dedicated themselves to bringing you the best damn cane soda possible, and we're not stopping anytime soon. Our mission is to keep you refreshed with bold flavor, sweetened with real cane sugar. Jones Soda is all about real people making real soda since Pluto was still a planet in joy. And basically, the one thing I love about Jones is that they put people's images
I wish
on
I could figure out how to make you bigger. Let me do that show me how to do that while you're holding that up.
Click on solo on me.
Click on solo on you.
Yeah, because move the cursor over to me where my video is, and click on solo. Because if you were trying to get it to where I'm bigger and you're still on the screen, kind of like how you click that big box with the three little boxes to the side. No, you need to click on my image.
I did. Okay.
Click on yours.
I'm clicking on the big screen or the one that's down low. I think I understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here now. Wait. How do I make you? I can only make you solo. I can't make you be big and me little.
The thing is, there's nothing that like how right now where you're big and I'm small on the side. There's nothing that goes the opposite way.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to know. Hold up your soda here. I'll put you big real quick. Oh, okay. I see. I couldn't tell what that picture was.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about soda. I got a question for you. Do you find that if you put yourself on any form of diet restrictions, do you act differently? For instance, like if I have a lot of sugar in my diet, I act differently than I do when I don't have a lot of sugar in my diet.
No, there's never really been any form of diet restrictions in my life. But back in 2016, when I weighed 215 pounds, I had to put myself in a more healthier area of my life. So I kind of like made more homemade dishes more often, and I went from 215 down to 175. So a 40-pound drop there. And
That's quite a difference. Did that on your own?
Well, actually, I had the help of the people back when I was still part of the services back down in Minnesota.
Are you maintaining that weight now?
Yeah.
You got to stay off that sugar, though.
No.
Oh, my goodness. I just love teasing you. Okay, here we go. Where are we at? Crimson says he reminds me of one of the kids from Modern Family, the Spanish-looking one. Are you Spanish at all? What nationality are you, Angel?
I'm Native American.
Native American, okay. Who's Jones? Jones is good. Oh, let me scroll up. Somebody said they would play you. Hot Messy Missy says, I'll play Angel. Here's a question. Chicken wings, boneless or traditional?
I would say boneless.
Why? Just because you like to eat those better?
Well, in my opinion, when it comes to chicken wings, they are a lot more smaller than the typical big piece of chicken that you can get at KFC, like the drumsticks, the thighs, and such. But because the chicken wing, believe it or not, it doesn't have that much meat in there. Most of it is just bone. Because I made some chicken wings on Sunday for Super Bowl 54, and when I was eating them, there was barely any meat around the entire wing itself. It's basically almost like a chicken's gizzard.
Yeah. Now, which kind of sauce do you like? Do you prefer sauce or just plain?
I added a few drips of buffalo sauce that I have in my refrigerator.
Buffalo. I prefer the buffalo sauce too.
Oh.
Uh-oh. See what that Jones does to you?
That's okay with me.
Crimson says that he likes Jones. He's familiar with that soda and he likes the root beer. Oh, that's so funny. Yep, soda makes me burp too. That wouldn't be very funny if Miss Kathy was here drinking a soda and let out a belch, would it? T P-Tac says, Angel, you are breaking my heart. What did he do that's breaking your heart?
I think I'm breaking his heart because I prefer boneless over traditional.
Okay, gotcha. Coming up with great questions, everyone. I appreciate it. Let me see what I've got written here before we get Angel back into his advice talk here. Let's see. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
In the last year or in my entire life?
Your entire life. Let's go with that.
The craziest thing I've ever done in my entire life was when I was really young and I was still and I was visiting my Auntie Kelly down in Bemidji, Minnesota. One of my family members in Bemidji had dared me to eat some worms, and I was kind of like hesitant, and they kind of like said, "Come on," kind of like how when someone tries to dare you, but you're too scared, and they call you chicken, they mock you and such because they want you to do that right there and then. I kind of took up on that, and I was so disgusted of eating the worm that I just
I know there's a lot of people that eat worms to eat worms. You would never even do that now as a challenge, like for YouTube views or anything. Would you eat worms?
I'm not the kind of person who just does it for clickbait.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let's see here. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food in terms of like, is it like, are you saying like category, region or such? Because I know there's many different regions of food, but in terms of my favorite food, just by itself, it would have to be a toss up between pizza.
I knew you were going to say pizza. I knew it.
It would be a toss up between pizza or tacos. But in terms of my favorite region, my favorite foods are Italian and Mexican.
Well, that makes sense with pizza and taco. How tall are you?
5'11".
Really? I didn't realize you were that tall. Okay, let's see what else questions I have here.
It may not seem like that from the camera angle, but if we were ever meet in person, you'll see there's a difference.
Yeah, my son Michael is 5'11", so I can see where you would be on me. I'm 5'5.5". Crims wants to know if you like Hawaiian pizza. What kind of pizza do you like?
For me, the kind of pizzas I like are basically the ones with tons of protein, like the meat lovers and the stuffed crust pizza. But for me, would I ever try or do I like Hawaiian? Because the whole thing about pineapple pizza is still ridiculous to this day. And if you guys saw like a headline about
now, have you ever tried it, Angel?
No.
Will you try it for me and then let me know if you like it or not?
No.
You won't even try it?
No.
It's delicious.
No.
Do you like spicy foods?
I like some spicy food, but it all depends on what level of heat that it is. Because if it's too much for me to handle, then no, I won't eat any more of it. If it has a medium to mild ratio, then yeah, I'll continue eating more of it. Because
I can't do spicy foods. I was watching a Billie Eilish YouTube video where she was on a channel, or there's some channel that actually makes the guest continue to eat spicy foods. I don't know what it was called, but it was pretty interesting. But she had to keep eating more and more spicy foods with every question he asked her, and she went all the way. She could handle it, but I can't even handle a regular hot wing.
You can't?
I can't. I cannot. Here's a question for both of us. Our favorite Pokemon. Do you want to go first, or do you want to hear mine?
I'll go first. My favorite Pokemon is, believe it or not, Charizard.
Oh, I almost said that. I do like Blastoise, but you know why? I had to go all out to find Blastoise card when the first 150 Pokemon came out, my boys were really into Pokemon. They're like in their 20s now. And it was really important to me that I get all 150 cards in a collection, in a binder. So Blastoise was the last card I finally got. I still have that collection, you know.
You still have the collection?
I do. I still own a binder of all 150 original Pokemon cards.
Wow. But you know, if I had to say so, there were times when me, my brother, or my sister would open a pack of Pokemon cards. The card that I always looked forward to seeing, hoping that I would get it, wasn't any form of the rare Pokemon. It was more of the Japanese Pokemon cards that because they had a different design on the backing than the for a series from the mid 1990s. Because I always look forward to the Japanese Pokemon cards that you would often get because of the design and the shining layer that was added.
Yeah. Those foil types. More of the Japanese cartoon one that my boys started playing after that was Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it was called. We've got a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards too around here. Sorry, sweetheart. I'm checking my messages right here.
That's all right.
Just because my daughter was home early. We got early dismissal today with the weather, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. So she is. Okay, so they want to know your favorite dessert.
Favorite dessert?
Miss Hopkins asked.
There really isn't any form of favorite dessert in terms of like homemade because I'm too old for that kind of sugary stuff. Because if there's ever a dessert that I want, it would usually be at a form of ice cream parlor like the Baskin Robbins or Dairy Queen. Because I often go there for like the Blizzards or the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors option. So, but in terms of like cakes, cupcakes, pies, too old for that stuff.
You're never too old for cakes and pies. Crimson wants to know what's your ideal girl? Are you dating or do you go on dates?
I have never been in a relationship in my entire life. In the 29 years I've never had a girlfriend. I've never been in any form of relationship. But when I was younger, I had a crush on a next door neighbor by the name of Whitney Wheat, and she was a brown skinned girl that I was friends with her brother called Matthew Weeks. Because let me just say they were called the Weeks family. And but Matthew Weeks was a great neighbor of mine, but I had a crush on his sister, Whitney Weeks, in high school. And I tried asking her to the prom in 2007, but she did not take me up on the offer. But if I had to choose my ideal girl, it would be a dark brown-skinned woman, because in today's society, you're being judged of stuff that shouldn't even be that big of a deal anymore. I mean, is it really big of a problem for someone to date interracially? Is it really that big of a problem?
Not nowadays. Thank goodness.
Is it that big of a problem for?
I am curious about this. Wendy, what was her name? Whitney. Do you ever have any contact with her now, or have you found her in social media?
The last time I saw her was when I ran into her at a Subway down in Moorhead, Minnesota, back in 2013.
Does she know that you still think about her?
No.
Maybe you should try to find her on Facebook.
I don't know if she has one. That's the thing. Oh.
More soda burps coming. What do you want to tell us more? I know that you're antsy about giving us more advice.
Well, it's just that when I came to the stream, I want to be about like the advice and stuff of people being successful in the way that they want. But now it doesn't seem like that, because last week you did the stream with Angel Dominique about marriage and the relationships. But
yeah, you can keep telling me more about some of the stuff that you've survived. And
well, actually, it's more so about everyone doing it themselves.
yeah. What would you
Because
say to someone right now that is in your situation? What would you say to someone who is going through a case of wanting their own guardianship?
well, well, for someone that that's going through the same situation, for someone that wants to go in guardianship or wants to like try to go somewhere else, you really need to think. Like I said at the beginning, but it's more so like trying to make sure, are you happy with yourself? Because if you're not happy with yourself, then you need to make do what makes you happy, not what makes others happy in your life. Because if you make others people happy and not yourself, really, are you making yourself happy or are you putting yourself down, or is it both? It's up to you. Because there are people who really don't know exactly what will make them happy until they realize it. So when you find out what makes you happy, you need to do that to yourself. And people always say to me, "Well, it's not all about you." Well, your life is about you. It's how you want to make it. It's like
What age do you think is an appropriate time where someone can start making the choices on their own?
the age of adulthood, which is 18.
Now, I know you said that if you went back in time that you would try to do things differently and hope that your father would react differently. And you mentioned when you were 13 that you wanted him to know when to leave you alone and when not. Do you think that would change now that you're older?
Um, Probably if
Because I can tell you right now that I don't let Jessie just let me not knock on her door or go in. She's not 13 yet, but she will be soon.
uh,
I mean, because it's hard when you're 13, that's a tough age. That's when you don't want to listen to anybody anymore, right?
well, it's just that's kind of like the peak of teenage years, where they just want to start finding their own independence, but in the early stages. Because they want to be more trusted, they want to be more responsible, they want to feel as though they have more freedom of independence.
Yeah,
But
I do. I agree with you.
it's also in the area where they're still living with their parents. And
Yeah.
some parents don't even give their teenagers a chance. Like they think that the teenagers will go out and party. Well, even if they do, can't they party with their best friends or such? Because I've never been to a single party in my life, and the times that I have been to a party, I took responsibility of my actions if I did anything wrong. But luckily, the parties that I've been to, I never drank. And some people know the right from wrong right when they're in the early teenage years.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
really,
it's hard as a 13-year-old myself, and then raising several 13-year-olds. It's interesting. You kind of have to judge it, and you do have to let them make their own mistakes. But I know that I did it a little bit differently each time.
because your youth from the year from the day that you are born till your preteens, like 11 or 12, is the years that your kids are supposed to grow, learn, and be in school. Because they do things like they're learning their ABCs, their one, two, threes, they're walking, talking, and bicycling. But then as they approach their late preteens, like 11 and 12, is when they're supposed to learning how to take responsibility, like clean up after themselves, learn the ways of independence, so that way when they become an adult, they can be in the world around them.
That's true. Hello, Leah is here. If you want to say hi to Leah from Ability Mama Vlogs. Thank you for coming. Crimson, what did Steve say? I could see Miss Kathy reading diaries. Oh, I have from time to time. Don't. I will not deny that. I am a nosy parent.
Uh,
Well, we've almost gone on an hour. Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Some of your worthy
yeah,
wisdom?
and the other thing is, there are two more things but that I want to say beforehand. The first thing is don't try to have people bring you down, because people will try all their best to bring you down and not have you go what you want in the direction in life that you want to. And you just need to like not have people bring you down, try to make you stay in a bubble or a box. Because if anyone remember the 2001 film Bubble Boy, where he was allergic
Oh
to
yeah.
everything around him, did the movie emphasize him of being inside a bubble all his life? No, he stayed in that bubble, but he traveled with the bubble around him.
That was a great movie, John Travolta.
Yeah, so just like Bubble Boy, don't let people try to bring you down or judge you just because you're not doing what they want you to do. And the other thing is, it doesn't matter what you're like. We can all have our own dreams. We can have all have our own goals, and we can all be in the life that we want. But just as long as you motivate yourself and you put yourself in a area that you want. And the thing that a lot of people fail of as well is that a lot of times people fail from having a successful life that they want is because of stress. And one of the causes of stress is too much of overworkness, because we all have something in our lives that are always trying to thrive and trying to go for. But if you overstress yourself and overwork yourself of that stuff, yeah, you won't succeed in that at all. Because imagine if I was a motivational speaker and I overworked myself and my speeches were terrible each and every time. It's because I'm overworking myself in the message that I want to bring to the people. So, and sometimes some people stress out because they did not achieve their goal or their life within the first try. Because imagine if it took several court hearings for me to reach my independence. Would I feel stressed out just because I did not win the case the first time around? No, it's all about trying and trying again. And the more you try, the more you will succeed, because you learn with every time that you fail and try again. So if I did not win my case the first time around, I would learn of exactly how I can make it to where I can win my case the next time around. If it doesn't happen a second time, then what I learned the second time will go into the third, the fourth, etc. So it's all about making sure that you know what you learn from if you don't succeed the first or second time around, or however many times it takes.
Try again. Yep. Very wise words, Angel. Very wise words.
And like I said about doesn't matter what you like, because for me as an artistic person, do I let my autism, do I let my disabilities crowd my head? Nah, but my family around me often is too much worried about me, and I just appreciate the family around me, but it's just not something that I want my family to be overly concerned about. Like, let's say if I had a seizure right here on your stream there, Miss Kathy, a lot of people in the chat would be like, huh? What's going on? What's happening? Why is he passed out, moving in this sort of way? And then when I came out of my seizure and thought, you probably would ask, hey, Angel, what just happened? You blanked out for a second. And I would instantly tell you.
Angel, have you ever had a seizure during a stream or in a video?
I had one back in the summer of 2018 when I was looking for my new bike. And I had one sometime last year on another person's stream. If you ever heard of a YouTuber by the name of Cab7.
I have, yeah. So I didn't realize that you have actually. Angel, I have to be honest, I didn't know you suffered from seizures. So I'm really glad you haven't had one yet.
Well, I'm just saying, my conditions in my life are not that big of a deal, because I don't drown myself or over worry about myself as the kind of conditions I have. Because
when is the last time that you have had a seizure?
The last time I had a seizure was back on January 26th.
Where were you? You said you were with you were on your bike?
No, no. You were the first question you were asked. Have I ever had a seizure during a
Online.
bike?
Right.
I was telling you the 2 times I had a seizure on a live stream.
Okay.
The first one was in the summer of 2018 when I was buying a new bike, because in the summer of 2018 I wanted to get a new bike to be out more. And when I was live streaming at my local Walmart, when I was still in Minnesota, seizure right on the stream that I had done on my channel, and it's still up if anyone wants to go and see it. And then I had another one in April of 2019 last year on Cab 7's live stream. But the last one that I had physically, whether it's on a live stream or off of the YouTube, was back on January 26th of this year.
Oh, wow. Pretty recently.
I don't have them how that happened, but they're really not that big of a deal to me.
Do you take medication for them?
No, I don't, and I don't care, because my seizures are not that something I'm overly concerned about.
Okay.
I mean,
what happens when you have a seizure? Tell me what happens.
Basically, I black out, but then I come back out of it a few seconds later. Because if I can play you the stream, play you the scene of the stream where I had one that I posted to my channel, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me find it right quick.
Okay.
Because typically the kind of seizures that I have are known as small petty seizures, where it only lasts a few seconds to a few minutes.
So you don't need beta blockers or anything like that?
Nope. Because some people a lot of people ask me, do I take anything for them or any specific medication?
When did this start? Have you dealt with these your whole life?
Yeah, I've had seizures my whole life ever since the age of 18 months. Because when I was 18 months old, my mom saw that I had passed out, and she didn't know what the heck it was. And so she had brought me to the hospital, and the doctor said it was a seizure that I had.
What is the longest time that you're typically out when you do black out?
The longest time is basically less than 2 minutes. Okay. But the shortest one I ever had from the people who've seen me have them was when I had a seizure back in February of last year, when I had them around my sister, and she saw that I had a seizure that was only 15 seconds long.
And they don't know like a certain cause. It's not a stress level or an excitement level or sugar low or anything like that.
No. Because I went to the hospital back on January 26th after I had a couple of seizures, and I was doing fine during the time that I was at the hospital. But my brother and some of the people here in my apartment building suggested to go to the hospital and see if there was anything that causes them, like low glucose levels, which is the same as blood sugar or any form of that. From the results that they gave me, there wasn't anything wrong. So I don't know what it is that causes the seizures, because I'm not diagnosed with epilepsy or anything. Okay. It's just these seizures happen for some unknown reason, but it's not all that often, because the ones I had back on January 26th were the first seizures that I had in almost 3 months, because I had one back in October of last year.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's a few people that I know here in my local town that their children suffer with seizures, but they're doing the research on that keto diet. So they're finding really good results with that. Is that something you would ever consider, like trying a different type of diet to see if that caused any difference?
Would I probably, but at this point in time, no.
Are you looking for you wanted to show something?
Yeah. I was trying to pinpoint exactly where it was at. So if you can add it to the screen there, so I can show everyone, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can. Miss Hopkins real quick wants to know if you get depressed about it, you don't drive.
Well, the only times I ever get depressed is when people over worry about things of me. Because I just want people in my life to know that they don't need to worry too much about my seizures. Don't need to worry about me 24/7 or any of that. I know they're just there to care about me, but if they just let me handle the life that I want, and if I need any advice, I will come to them. If I need any recommendations of such, I'll come to them because I came to people for suggestions and recommendations. Well, I had a hard time deciding which cell phone to get back in November of last year, but everything that I do is was stuff that I either have interest of getting, interest of doing, or interest of going to. If it's something that doesn't interest me or isn't any of my concern, I don't really care too much about it, and I just want my people around me to know that they shouldn't care too much about my condition as well. Because take for example, everyone is concerned about the condition that Rush Limbaugh has, who was just diagnosed with stage 4 advanced lung cancer. Am I concerned for him? Yeah, but it's not something that I'm going to worry too much about because he's getting the work done for himself to get the surgeries that he needs to have his lung cancer be removed and be cancer free. And if I was there like 24/7 and being say, hey, and such, he might get annoyed. So I am concerned for him, but it's not something that I'm going to worry too much about myself.
Yeah, well, and it's good that you're not get stressed over that. I know Lorelei is suggesting CBD. I tried CBD actually. I just decided not to afford it because you have to buy it every month.
Okay, okay. If you're ready, let me play.
Yep, I will show your screen.
Viva with the key in the lock, or the one with the combination, which is this one. The robot is in company, but one is the combination lock and one is a lock Viva key. This is right where it was about to happen. Just keep.
You were actually out in public streaming and had a seizure. Wow.
Yeah, just take a look. Just keep watching, guys.
Oh, you fainted.
As you can probably see.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, how scary.
Member of management. Can you come to the bike? The customer is not feeling well. Fall down.
What, are you okay?
Wow, are you aware that you're filming at this point, or are you just out?
I'm just out.
With your eyes still open. Wow. You're doing. Oh, you're coming too, I guess. Wow, Angel, how scary, but amazing that you were able to capture all of that.
As you can probably see, I'm recovering now.
You almost fall down. Just want to be safe. Oh, you're okay?
Yeah. Oh.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on, bud?
Nothing.
You just want to sit down for a couple minutes here?
I'll be okay.
Are you sure? You kind of just fell down on us.
Sorry.
Wow, now you got me wanting to keep watching that.
You want me to keep playing it?
No, I'll give you the watch time. I'll go on your stream and comment on it. Is it still on your channel?
Yeah, simply scroll back and stream back on June 30th of 2018, and it says "Let's go shopping at Walmart."
Okay.
Here, let me post it in the private chat here.
Yeah,
Right?
and then put it in the link. Yeah, and then I can copy it and put it in the link. Wow, I didn't even know that happened. See, this is why I want to do my real talk, so I can actually get to know the person behind the channel.
But it's just that isn't it? But it's just that that is just one of the cases that I had during the live stream. The other one, like I said, was on Cap 7 stream. But it's not that big of a deal to me. I know some people are in the chat like, wow, oh,
You know what though? It's educational, Angel, that you could actually make a whole separate YouTube channel just about that. And you could teach a lot of people. Don't give it away because I'll go watch the stream, but unless this isn't part of that video, but the workers there, did you explain to them?
But as you probably saw when I was recovering,
right, and then you stopped it, but did you
I didn't even know what had happened. And then when I rewatched the stream myself, that was the first case that I've ever seen myself actually have a seizure that was caught on camera.
Yeah, you should, I think that's very worthy to share for educating others.
It's just that for me, like you asked me, do I take any medication? No, I do take CBD capsules, but I don't take seizure medication at all. And the doctors did prescribe me a 1 week supply of seizure medication when I went to the doctors back on January 26th. But I did not refill the prescription at all because I just don't really consider my seizures that big of a deal or that big of a worrisome to people because I just don't think my case of seizures are that severe as some others are because there are many different levels of seizures from grand mal to epilepsy, etc. And if I did have epilepsy, I would be having my seizures more frequently than how often I have them because the time I had a seizure was the one, of course, that you saw on that video. Then I had one in April of 2019 on Cap 7 stream. I had a couple in the late of July of 2019 when I came to Arizona the day when I went to the hospital to get my.
And you've never documented like what you've had that day to eat, what you did the night before, like there was no correlation or anything. Wow. I'm glad you showed me that. I never knew that's something that you suffered from. You know, my son just introduced he's now married, back in October, and his wife, my new daughter-in-law, is pregnant. And I just learned that she suffers from some form of heart condition that she takes beta blockers for. And she says, I've dealt with them since I was about 12 and I just pass out every once in a while. It was just like nonchalant. I'm like, you pass out? And she's like, yeah, just every once in a while, my heart gets like super high beats and I just pass out. And it's very dangerous for her to be pregnant. But she's nonchalant about it, kind of like you are, like, well, it's just no big deal. And I'm like, it is a big deal.
Well, the thing is, the person that you said what she has that she considers nonchalant is my opinion of my seizures. And to people, it may be a big deal to them, but the times I've had my seizures over the course of the times I've had them in my life is not a big deal to me, and I just don't consider that big of a deal because just think of it like this: has there been anything in your life that?
Certainly, I know. I think I commend you for not worrying. Yeah, I commend you for not worrying and not thinking it's a big deal, and I think that's also a survival mechanism for you. I mean, that's how you want to cope, right? You know, it's not keeping you from having the life that you want to lead.
Because if I worried more about my seizures, if I worried more about my autism, and worried more about my ADHD, bipolar, and mood disorders, or any condition that I have in my body, it would not have me go in the life that I want. Because my seizures is like something that I just don't care about because it's nothing that's really important to me, as opposed to me having the life that I want and the direction that I want to go to reach my goals, reach my dreams, find the path that I want in life and just go after what I've been trying to do for all this time. Because if I worry about that, that would stop me from doing what I want.
Yeah. I mean, I applaud you for that. And I'm really glad that we got to get together and do this talk. And that part just came out. I would have headlined with that if I'd known. But I'm really glad that we got to talk for a while and learn that about you. And if you don't mind, I would probably, when I do decide to re-upload this, I might do that part as a separate video because it's towards the end of our stream. And I think it's really important.
Go ahead and edit this out and have it be as a separate video.
Well, I think that Mrs. Hopkins agrees with me here. She says, yes, it is educational to people. In person, I probably wouldn't have recognized that as a seizure. I've seen some at school that were severe. Yeah, you know, and because of my ignorance to seizures, I think of seizures as more of epilepsy, where they're having the convulsions, whereas you're just fainting. I would have just assumed like you're either diabetic or you're low blood sugar or you just fainted, or, I wouldn't have thought of something like that as a seizure. So I think that is very educational, but I can't imagine. I'm going to go back and find that video that you posted because I don't know when you stopped the stream or what you've done in continuation from that.
That stream was only 24 minutes long, but if you want to pinpoint where that event happened, go out at about the 12-minute mark.
I want to see the rest of it that ended it, like what you did afterwards, and I'm curious of what you've continued to do since that date. I think you have something. I want to encourage you to do something like this for your channel. I think this is a whole series you could do. You could really educate a lot of people.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm very encouraged by you. I love the way you take on life, and you're a go-getter, Angel.
Well, it's just that I've been through so much in my 29-year-old life, soon to be 30, but that a lot of people consider me as a success story, and I don't really let a lot of things stress me out or try to get to me, because if I did, it would just put me a step back into what I want to do with my day or with my life.
You're a survivor. A burping survivor. Well, I think we're going to end it here, and I'm going to thank everyone. Do you want to make sure that you've caught everyone and all of your people that you brought over, your buddies? Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for coming over to Mrs. Kathy's stream. Thank you to Mrs. Hopkins. Thank you to Ariel Williams. Thank you to the two of my great buddies, the T-Top and the Bright Supremacy. Thank you guys for coming, and thank you all for joining here. And really was a great stream today. And thank you for doing this with me there, Miss Kathy. And it was great being on here to educate people. And it's like she said, Mrs. Hopkins, in person, she wouldn't recognize it as a seizure. But believe it or not, I wouldn't even recognize that I had one back then, as opposed to how I can recognize it now. Because that was the first time that I had a seizure.
It may have happened for a reason while you were streaming like that. I tell you what, no kidding aside here, but the way you held that camera through that whole thing was pretty amazing. I just wanted to end on a fun note.
Yeah.
I love you, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks so much for coming and having a real talk with me. And if you are interested in a real talk, please make sure you hit me up on Twitter. I'll be sure and put the link in my description of this video. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.